Hi, this is David Orlofsky, and welcome to the Parsha in 5, where in 5 minutes, we try to give you some insights into the Parsha that you could use at your Shabbos table. So I'm going to do something, normally these are all pretty much standalone, but I'm going to play off of something we said last week, because it obviously ties into this week, and that is, of course, the fact that in Parshas Sisa, we have the dramatic incident where Moshe Rabbeinu is fighting for Klal Yisrael and getting to Kadosh Baruch Hu to forgive them for the act of building the Egel HaZahav, the golden calf. And he says these dramatic words, forgive them, and if not, Macheni na me'sifrecha asher kosafta. Erase me from the book. And that's why last week, Moshe's name does not appear in Parshas Tetzaveh, because part of it came true. He was erased from one Parsha in the Torah because he said, erase me. Yeah. So even though Hashem forgave them, still everything that a tzaddik says has impact. In general, you should be careful what you say. You never know how your words are going to make an impact in the world. But at the end of the story, when he comes down with the second set of luchos, there's an interesting sort of addendum to the story. Yeah. An epilogue. When he comes down from the mountain, he has rays of light shining out of his face. Karnei hod. Karnei or. They're shining out to the point that people cannot look at him. He has to wear a veil. From that point onwards, Moshe Rabbeinu always wore a veil unless he was speaking to Bnei Yisrael and saying over what Hashem said. He wore a veil because people could not handle the light that was coming out of his face. Karnei, of course, which are rays of light, could be translated as horns. That's the reason Michelangelo drew Moshe with horns. That's where the idea comes from, of Jews having horns. It's obviously not true, and the reason we wear a kippah is not to cover them up. Somebody said that to me once. You guys wear that little beanie to cover up the horns? No. Anyway, so the rays of light were coming out of it. So listen to a medrash. The medrash says, where did the rays of light come that was shining out of Moshe's face? From the ink that was left in the pen from writing the Torah. It's the Chanukas Torah, Reb Heschel. He says, first of all, Kadosh Baruch Hu knows everything. He knows how much words have to go into the Torah. Why would there be any ink left? And then I have some ink left. It's like, I have some ink left here. Let me write it on your face. Seems like a strange thing to do, right? So the Chanukas Torah says like this. You know why there was ink left in the Torah? Because it was every place that Moshe's name was supposed to be written in Parshas Tetzaveh. And because Moshe Rabbeinu's name was left out, all that extra ink was in the pen. And why does he put it on his face? To teach us a very important point. And that is, if you are Moisa Nefesh for the Jewish people, you can see it written on your face. HaKadosh Baruch Hu glorifies you and makes everyone understand and recognize this is a Jewish hero. It's when people would look at those rays shining out of his face, they understood. This was the fact that Moshe Rabbeinu was willing to sacrifice himself for the Jewish people. And whenever that happens, that becomes the tremendous praise. Are you willing to sacrifice yourself for Klal Yisrael? If you don't, as we saw by Eliyahu Hanavi, where he says the people have sinned, there's no more hope. But Kadosh Baruch Hu says, okay, then you lose your job. Take the next fiery chariot up to heaven and I'm going to get somebody else. But you can never give up on Klal Yisrael. Interesting pasuk in this week's parsha where Moshe takes his tent outside of the Machane. And Hashem tells him, go back in. Rashi says, because if I'm angry at them and you're angry at them, then who's going to draw them close? You're their leader. You have to be with them. You have to bring them back. And when you do, then your face shines and everyone sees that this is a hero for the Jewish people. Shabbos.